Live coming back at you here. I totally faked out Jamie. It was fantastic. Hello and welcome and hello. This is Total Spotfest. We have the full panel back for you. That right there, untanned somehow from the Caribbean, is Jamie. I am JJ. That is Austin Reddick. I mean, I got a little bit of that too, just because
I did more drinking.
The man the sun forgot.
Umbrellas.
Yeah, Austin was like, "You spent a week down near the equator. How are you not more tan?"
I should have brought down my straw hat that I wore. I think it looked like his Indiana Jones straw hat. It was awesome.
Oh, you had one of those. Okay,
it was like an Indiana Jones style. Like it was full on Indiana Jones. That's the only reason I bought it.
I was imagining Austin. I was imagining Jamie in one of those like Mexican lawnmower, like Mexican yard crew hats.
Sombrero. Yeah.
Not a sombrero. No, I'm not culturally appropriating you. Stop it. Stop. Boy, we're getting off to a great start tonight. All right, hello and welcome. Welcome and hello. This is Total Spotfest. We are back at you here like we are every Wednesday night. If this is your first time here, welcome. We'd love to see you. We're going to be talking a lot of wrestling over the next hour and a half or so. Hit the subscribe button down below if you want to be with us every week. Give us a big thumbs up while you're down there. Woo! Boys, how are we doing today?
Doing well. Didn't spend a week on an island, but still have had a pretty solid week, so can't really complain.
I've had more rum in my body in the past week than I've ever had and I'm so happy for it.
I find hilarious because Jamie has been very hell-bent, in his youth he was, a partier and all this stuff, but ever since kids and all this, he's very long been somebody who doesn't really drink. Right? We'll go out. He'll have a beer. I'll have like 9. Right? It is what it is. Right? Well, he gets a week away from the kids, him and the wife, and Jamie just goes, "Yes."
I remember how to do it, gentlemen.
I'm so proud of you.
Well, here's the thing. Like, the drill. Like, if I get a shot in me, it's over. Like,
right? Jamie will not do shots.
I'm going to be drinking heavily the rest of the night.
I think that as long as I've known Jamie, we've done shots together twice, and both times the times that he bought them, and he had the willpower to prevent himself from going full Hank the Tank on us. But because he's definitely one of those. Hello, Squatch. Hello, Heather. It's fantastic to see you, dude. Heather, I had Walking on Broken Glass in my head so much it was not even funny. Anyway, you're still in the fold.
Like my head. I hate you.
Still in the fold. So, so we do got a lot to talk about. First and foremost, let's get to talk about All In. A return to a marathon of paper. So none of us on this dais watched it live. Right, I was working. Jamie was stuck at a softball field, unfortunately to him. We're gonna pause that because it's gonna get very R-rated if we go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah, I'll abstain. Cool.
Austin was actually wrestling himself down there in Wichita, so none of us actually watched it live.
Hold on, you're wrestling yourself?
Yeah. Me
How do
versus
you do
me.
that?
I'm undefeated against myself. I've got a Goldberg streak against myself.
I got a Goldberg streak.
I'll just say, in high school, I wrestled myself a lot.
Just high school. All right. So that's a great question, Squatch.
Yeah. So for those of you not watching live on YouTube right now, which you should be, but if you're not catching this later, watching chat just asked if I'm a heel or a face. And the answer is depends.
Yep.
More often than not, I am a heel. Really, since I moved to Wichita, I've been face around Kansas for the last few years or so. But I personally enjoy being a heel much more.
Mm-hmm.
It's a much better time.
Yeah, and you're face at Fountain City.
Yeah, just in Kansas, Fountain City and HCW, and pretty much a heel everywhere else.
Journey Pro, you were a heel.
I was a heel at Journey Pro, but that was on the Missouri side for a lot of it.
that was. And I do remember, like, the very first time we saw you, right? We didn't know you yet. We barely knew your wife, you know. I think we just kind of, you know, knew her in passing a little bit at that time, right? You know, but the very first time we saw you, because you had you had your vest and like the headband, and Jamie kept calling you, what'd you call him? Wish.com Steve Austin.
I did. He did. Absolutely. So
He did.
But then, like we like, yeah, and the rest is history. Now,
and then like sort of we interviewed, you know, Heidi live, and then we got to know you because of that, right? And then, you know, there we are. But yes, you'll always be his Wish.com Steve Austin.
Being a heel's the best. I just love cheating. Like, just finding new innovative ways to cheat is the best part of being a heel. It's the best part of pro wrestling, if I'm being honest.
It's only cheating if you get caught.
I'm on the other fence of the heel side. I think it's just talking shit to people, like to say whatever you actually feel about them with a microphone in your hand, instead of trying to be this like super nice guy to get over at the fans. Like, I'm gonna give it my best. It's like, this guy fucking sucks, and this is why. Like, so that's my part.
The thing with that though is, it's a lot harder than it seems, because you do get to talk shit to the fans, but you got to be smart about it. Because if you're just funny all the time, then they start cheering you and you didn't do your job right. So you got to find a way to talk shit to the fans in ways that actually make them boo you, instead of just laughing or just grabbing the low-hanging fruit. MJF. But yeah, man, that's what's fun about it.
So, but for watching more, you know, I mean, you can definitely find HCW as well. Where does HCW stream their stuff through? Is it through IWTV?
So it's through their Facebook page.
Okay, all right.
So if you follow Heartland Championship Wrestling on Facebook, they go live with every show on Facebook. Not through IWTV or anything like that. It's free. They also have a Patreon if you want to watch shows back. But they are live on Facebook every time there's a show. So it's some good old pro wrestling. It's a good time to check out if you got a free Saturday evening.
I would say, since you asked that question,
I will be at the next one.
I would say, since you asked that question, it might behoove you just for completely unrelated circumstances, maybe watch the next 2 HCW shows. Just saying, potentially.
Yeah, I might find my way back to being a heel again at some point in time. Who knows?
No reason why I would even speculate at that, but no. So yeah, so we didn't watch it live. None of us did here, but were you guys? So I got done. I told Austin this here. You know, it's like, hey, you know, I watched the buy-in real fast, kind of page through. Then I opened up the stream at like 11:30 at night, right? You know, and I was like, oh wow, 5.5 hours. Were you guys taken aback?
Noticed this, but of course I did. Somebody just busted out of Bobby Heenan. Just saying.
It was the Lord of the Ring marathon of wrestling, Heather. That is the best metaphor we have heard in 2025. Jamie's heart is breaking in front of us, and I love this even more. The extended edition. Yes, the 4 DVD edition. Yes, which I still own.
Heather, I've thought forever that you were on my side.
Welcome to the J Money Club, Heather.
Oh, just embrace the rings, man. Just embrace the rings.
I will never. 3 movies about walking to a fucking volcano.
All right. We got way too much to talk about. We're not getting on this tangent, but thank you for igniting the fire.
Thank you.
The fire of Mount Doom. I do appreciate that, Heather. That's fantastic. So, long as hell. All right. We did all get our picks in. We did miss one match, but not really because it changed dramatically right before the show started anyway. I almost missed another one, but thankfully we caught that. But
you're welcome.
Thank you. And I did a little hot fix in the middle of, clients at work. So buy-in was the buy-in. We all, pretty much figure what's going on there. Austin let us know, too. He texted us out there. Is like, hey, I'm just watching the buy-in. Not going to spoil anything. But just so you guys know, the Outrunners have the best gear I think I've seen all year. And you are not wrong. The Newport-themed tights.
It was so good.
Chef's kiss.
The best part about it is that it took me a few minutes to realize it. Like I saw them come out, I was like, "Oh, Outrunners have new gear. That's cool." And I was staring. Yeah. I'm like, "Wait a minute, are they dressed like a matching pack of Newport cigarettes?" And they sure as shit were.
I mean, you mentioned it, but back when I smoked for like 18 years, right? And back in high school, that's what I started on was Newports. So I was instantly just like, "Oh yeah."
Oh, so good.
Not a smoker, but I am all about it. That was so good. Like, I'm a big Outrunner guy anyway. They need a big push, and rumor has it they are going to get a big push over the next 12 months.
They've earned it. They have earned it. They didn't earn the win. We all picked against them anyway. There's also there was another match that I totally forgot what it was. Now shows you how important it was on me.
It was the one with the big.
Don Cal's family versus.
No. We had that one. We had that one on our list. We had Big Boom AJ.
Oh no! You're talking about the Sons of Texas and.
Oh yeah. Everybody's from a famous family in Texas versus a bunch of people. So
not to jump the gun really quick, but can I just point out the one glaring downside to All In? Why did we have to watch Sammy Guevara wrestle twice?
You know why? Because God's hate is taking a hiatus, and that's why. Yeah. They wanted to punish us. Once you saw that, God's hate is taking a break.
Yeah, it happens. Still good music. But Big Boom AJ, that was a thing. We all got that, right? But show started off proper, and a quick aside. What did you guys feel about the atmosphere of the crowd? I thought it was fantastic. There's people dogging it a little bit. Some of the tribalists on Twitter, you only had 25. As I was like, did you see that? That place looked fantastic. And it was full. It was an unbelievable atmosphere. The production was up there. I mean, this was their WrestleMania. I thought it was outstanding.
It was. But they ran into the issue they used to have and seem to have gotten better about recently of not having the crowd mic'd up properly.
Yeah.
Because there were times where you couldn't really hear the crowd, but they were clearly cheering. Now, when you could really hear the crowd, they were going absolutely wild. But the crowd was a little muted. And I think part of it is that I didn't start it until 10 p.m. It was a 5-hour-long show. It did kind of bring things down a little bit watching, but it's an audio issue. The crowd was hot. Well, everyone there seemed to be having a great time. You can't complain about that.
No, I mean, for what it's worth, they don't do this style show that often. They've done it twice, basically, in this large of a venue. So it just might not be an unfamiliarity with, how to properly set up
it's stadiums too. Because I've seen, I can't remember who it was.
Oh yeah.
talking about the old WrestleManias and stadiums where when you're in the middle of the ring, you can't hear the crowd at all because all the sound just goes straight up. So it was probably like first time they're really running a baseball stadium like that. You didn't quite capture the crowd, but when they got really hot, you still heard them. And yeah, that crowd was hot the entire time.
Yeah, I had a friend who was actually there.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, and like it was a family trip. It was awesome. I was really happy for him. And literally, he's like, "This is the loudest thing I've ever been to my whole entire life." And I've been to Chief games. I don't know about that. They're big Nebraska Cornhusker fans too. I'm like, well, I mean, I expect the pop for Toni, the pop for Hanger, and the sheer shock of Okada with the triple main event. You know, like I bet that crowd was going.
There was a lot of really good pops throughout the night. We'll get to it. So they opened the show with trios match.
Hold on,
Death Ride.
hold. Pause. Time out. I don't know if you guys saw this. Sasquatch, he posted a very interesting question on here, and I have also noticed the same thing. Has anyone noticed a significant reduction in the anti-AEW hate?
There's been a sharp reduction in that. Yes.
Seismic shift, dare I say.
Well, yeah, because at this point, if you're hating on AEW, you're just being a hater. Like, even earlier this year, when you had the Death Riders feud with Cope a little bit and the main event scene got a little repetitive and stale, there were some legitimate criticisms, but they are just firing on all cylinders now. Like, I can't imagine anyone watching All In, even though it was 5+ hours long and not after the show being like, damn, AEW is on to something right now.
Well, and I've had even my friends that are WWE fanboys, right? You know, they even have said, you know, they still watch all the pay-per-views from AEW because they're like, yeah, it's ridiculous pay-per-views. Why wouldn't I watch it? And a lot of like the kind of like but you guys don't do storytelling well. That has subsided from them quite a bit. So,
yeah, I on TikTok, it was funny, you know. I'm a TikToker,
I have a theory about that Squatch. I'm gonna get to that in a second.
And there's been a lot. I follow a lot of people about the discourse of like, you know, AEW sucks and all this stuff, and like for my For You page lit up with people like I finally decided to give AEW a chance. And I watched All In, and they're like, this is by far and away the best wrestling I've ever seen.
Yeah,
the women's match was better than any women's match I've ever seen. The main event was insane. I've never seen anything like that on WWE television, and I'm 45 years old. I'm like, yes, you have seen it, but you just don't remember, or you weren't.
It's been a while.
Whatever. It's just nice. Like it goes back to what all three of us have been saying for how long. It's okay to like all kinds of wrestling. It's totally fine, guys. Crazy.
Just enjoy wrestling. That's what we always say, right?
Hey,
I hear what
JJ and I don't like the same football teams like in college or anything, but you know what? We still like football, and it's okay. See, look at me being nice to you lately. What
you are? Look at that, man. Maybe we should go to the Caribbean more often.
Change,
Holy
guys.
shit!
I will change.
So the length thing, Squatch. So Squatch asked about the length of the programming turning away the casual fan. I made mention of this to Austin and Jamie earlier that I think because of this show and the magnitude, he was going to go along with it. You know, I think B, it was a daytime show. If you're going to run a 5.5 hour show, doing it a daytime show, cool, right? Doing a show you start at like 7, 8 o'clock at night, not cool, right? But you're starting in the middle of the day in America, that is, right? Okay, you can go 5 hours. It gets you into like the early evening, right? See, was he trying to cut into counter programming that evening? Perhaps. Maybe.
Probably.
But I can understand what you're talking about. WrestleMania's had that problem before they went 2 nights, too. Like the last WrestleMania that me and Jamie watched together when it was still the one night, we were literally at the end, and our friend that was there with us too, our old young boy from the show here, he would just say, I don't care, end it, it's done. And Jamie even got on that. They're just like, there's still like 2 more matches left, and we're all like, we don't care any, So I can understand that, but that's my only argument for it, right?
Yeah, and I don't think it turns off the casual fan, because say you're not super into AEW, but your friend brought you over. Maybe like you used to watch pro wrestling, and they're like, "Hey, you gotta check this other company out. This is gonna be a great show." And you sit there and you start all in at 2 p.m. You don't know it's going to go 5 hours. By the time you get to about the 2.5, 3 hour mark, that pay-per-view is kicking into full gear. Mm-hmm. And the last 3 hours of that pay-per-view were absolute flames. So I don't know how you get to the end of that and be like, oh, I wish it was just shorter. Like, you're just popping for Hanger winning the title at the end.
Yeah, you got serotonin going everywhere.
And you saw Toni and Mercedes. Like, at that point, you saw so much good stuff on the back end, and I wasn't as glad Saturday night because I started it late and I had to finish Sunday morning because of the length. But the matches got the time they needed. Yes. You could say 1 or 2 of them might have gone a little bit longer than they needed to on the earlier part of the show, but those main events got all the time in the world to go out and tell those stories, and I wouldn't have wanted those to be any shorter.
So the show starts with the Ops versus Death Riders for the Trios title. We all picked the Ops. This one, I think, the Ops wins. Right. Yeah. Okay. And then they get into, and again, I don't have these exactly in order in front of me here because I didn't reorganize my little spreadsheet. But, you had the gauntlets. Let's go over the gauntlets. So you had the men's gauntlet and the women's gauntlet. Okay. For the most part, we were actually pre-divided on a lot of the matches. So the only 3 matches, other than the forget the buy-in, we all aced the buy-in, right? The world title match we all picked the same, the trios title we all picked the same, and the unified title we all picked the same. That's where the differences changed. We were all over the place, which I actually finally enjoyed because generally speaking, it's usually one or two little different. Yeah, it's 1 or 2 differences, and then we're coming down to a tiebreaker. Put a pin in that. Because I got something to say about that. So anyway, so the men's match, gauntlet match, myself and Austin both picked MJF, as well as Jamie. We all picked MJF. Matt picked Ricochet, and Megan picked Darby Allin, which brings in our bonus question as well. The bonus question, for those of you wondering, was where will Darby Allin show up during All In? Will it be during or after the world title match? Me and Austin both chose that option. Will it be during the men's casino gauntlet? Obviously, Megan chose that because she chose him to win. So did her betrothed Matthew. And then Jamie chose the third option, that he's still stuck on Everest and won't show up at all. Was that a little projecting? Did I goad you into that a little bit, maybe with my choice of verbiage?
Because it seems like anytime we've wanted somebody to return, they don't.
It's a good point.
Like, okay, he's going to save him for Wednesday. I thought, he's totally going to save him for Wednesday. Maybe they're going to bring out Eddie Kingston here. Be perfect because of the history.
So,
nah, man. You needed Darby in that main.
Darby in the main went so well. Anyway, he did not show up in the gauntlet. We had a lot of people in the gauntlet. We did have the return of Bullet Club Gold, not just Juice, who looks weird without the beard. Just gonna say,
interesting look for sure.
I mean,
Juice Dallas.
Jamie has actually.
Let me get Jamie's opinion on this really quick.
Yeah.
Juice without the beard and just the all black gimmicks. Did he look like an enhancement talent to y'all? Because he looked like a mid-90s job guy to me.
Yeah. I mean,
and I love Juice, but yeah, not the best look.
As a bearded man. And Jamie has actually, Austin, seen me without my beard. Okay?
I have.
It's not.
I was there, dude.
It was not a pretty sight. I don't know.
It was in Kansas City, Kemper Arena, 1997.
That was 99.
99, yeah.
Or 97, 99.
99. But regardless, Juice Robinson appeared, as so did the Guns. They come out, because Ricochet's goons come out, and here come the Guns. So we got 3/4 of Bullet Club Gold back, right? So that was good. That was the only surprise from the men's gauntlet at all. I mean, we had a lot of people in the match. I love these matches. I'm so glad that it's become a staple for AEW as well. But in the end, this was MJF the whole way. I mean,
it was. Yeah. I was this close to going with another prediction.
Oh, I wish you would.
And picking Switchblade to come back and win that.
Ooh.
Oh, that would have been
great. I started Googling stories is there anything rumoring Switchblade's close? And everything I saw was Switchblade's got a while to go. So I went with MJF, but because I assumed Hanger was winning at the end, I was like, Switchblade would be a really good first feud because he was the last one to beat Hanger clean back last fall. I'm glad I stuck with MJF on that one.
Yeah, MJF was the right choice. Because they've been trying to do it with the Hurt Syndicate that he's going to take it. And obviously the Hurt Syndicate won too, which we knew was going to happen as well.
Right. We did, although so on the tag match, myself and Austin both picked the Patriarchy to win. I think we had talked ourselves into it on last week's show. For those of you who tuned in,
that did not work out.
That was a bull strategy that did not work out for us.
They made it a triple threat, and then they concertoed Bobby Lashley's knee several times last week. It was very clearly set up,
all the
to give an out for Hurt Business to drop Hurt Syndicate to drop those titles while they kind of reset the tag division a bit. Apparently, the several concertos of the knee had no effect on Bobby Lashley.
He wasn't even wearing a sleeve on his knee. Not even a sleeve.
Not even a limp. Nothing.
The Almighty, guys.
He is Almighty.
Yes, I know. I know.
Heather, that's the comment of the night. Heather,
I'm not Catholic. I can do that. It's fine.
Like Siegfried and Roy.
And FTR was on commentary the whole time, right? FTR gets involved with the match, and so Hurt Syndicate ends up retaining, and then after the match comes the turn. Now, I think you could have done the turn if they had won or not, right? Austin and I don't know if I know you caught part of the show last week, Jamie, but you were also in the Caribbean and drinking a lot of rum, so whatever. We were agreeing with your previous prediction that the Patriarchy turns on it, but it was they can still win the titles, turn on it, because then you have Kip Sabian, Freebird rules. You got Kip Sabian and Nick Wayne as the champs, right? They can drop that to FTR, whatever. Okay. But they don't. They keep the titles on the Hurt Syndicate. They escond out, and then the Patriarchy turns on Christian. I pop for
a lot easier to turn on somebody when you lose, right?
It is.
Sometimes you got to reset. Sometimes you got to change the status quo when it's not working. Sometimes.
And they did it perfectly. This was great.
It was so good. We're going to talk more about the post-Christian, which of course brings out probably the biggest return of the show, which was Adam Copeland. Adam Copeland pulls a Jeff Hardy, takes 51 seconds to get to the ring. I agree with the critics on that. It was just, they're doing their things, and he's just up there okay, get to the ring, buddy. Get to the.
It's me. I'm Mario.
In his defense,
you're doing the hot return. Come on.
In his defense, Christian was a total dick to him last time they interacted. He was coming out to get his pop, but maybe he didn't really care one way or another if Christian got brained with that chair. He probably thought he deserved it. So maybe that's why he took his time to get his pyro in on his way to the ring.
Yeah. And, it's good. Copeland's going to do Copeland things. So he does. He comes out. He's got his spike, which is just. I didn't mind it when Abyss did it.
Toothbrush. It's what it is, guys.
I know. I wasn't a big fan when Abyss did it, the first time. And this is the knockoff version of that. So it's even whatever.
Yeah, Timu's in the chat, so let's keep it up. Timu.
It's Timu. Timu Judith. So, but he comes out and inadvertently kind of saves Christian, to which he pulls him up and plants that little seed about them making that final run, which we all know is going to happen sometime in the, not too distant future. But tell them to go find yourself. All right.
Well done.
It was good. It was good.
Yeah, imagine by All Out, we're getting Edge and Christian versus FTR. And sign me up. I'm here for that.
I think
Yes,
maybe
sir.
All Out, it might be a Full Gear thing.
Yeah, Full Gear. I agree with Full Gear. Give it time to bake.
Because I think if you're going to
I don't know, because Edge...
Go ahead.
Good. I was like, because Copeland's already coming back and coming after FTR. Like, All Out is still, 2 months away? Like, we got some time. I figure that's enough time to get them back together.
Yeah,
but I think... I feel like you have to set time up to tell the story for them. It's going to take some time for Copeland to really get on board and for Christian to really change. I also feel like this would be a lot better if you include the titles in the picture, right? FTR, with all the rhetoric that the Hurt Syndicate is throwing out there, makes a lot of sense as the persons to dethrone Hurt Syndicate, even though their promo tonight suggested they're basically calling out Edge and Christian, but whatever. I feel like if you do FTR taking the titles off of the Syndicate first, then you can get around. So that to me feels more like an all-out thing. And then but the other hand, though, now that I'm thinking about it, Jamie, is that All Out is in Canada, right?
It is.
It's gonna be All Out. Because here's the thing, I always agree with take the time to tell the story right, but there's certain things like this that people just want. Let's just get there. No one's gonna be upset that they didn't flesh out the story even more. It's Edge and Christian. Like it won't take much to bring it back together. I think we're there by All Out.
And that is 2 months away too, so it's not like right around the corner.
Yeah, you got 8 weeks, 10 weeks, something like that. You got time.
See, I'd rather see them do something with the patriarchy first, then get to FTR. Like, I'd like to see them against the patriarchy at All Out, and then Full Gear, you set up FTR versus Edge and Christian for the belts. Edge and Christian get the win, get the belts.
Well, I don't know if we're going to get Copeland too involved in the patriarchy Fallout stuff. Like, I think he'll be there at some times, but I think that first tag match is going to be them versus FTR.
I think if you're going to keep it around for more than just a 1 or 2 time thing, then yeah, you can circle back to the whole patriarchy thing. I almost like the idea of taking them and letting them breathe. This is now, you're basically now done enough legwork. Now it's time to start pushing Nick Wayne up the ladder. Not all the way up the ladder. Not too fast, not too far. But, I mean, he's got an ROH title, right? He's done the Super J's, okay? He's got the in-ring talent we know, right? He's also matured a little bit. It's been a few years now. I think now's the time to start kind of moving him up a little bit, doing what you did with Kyle Fletcher-ish. Kind of just slowly moving up into bigger stuff.
I could see Cope being adjacent and then bringing back Luchasaurus. And then those two do their thing, and then FTR and Edge, he'll find a tag team or whatever, and then they'll do a trios match or whatever, so it's not for anything. And then they'll lock it up. It just makes more sense. Because Luchasaurus is healthy. Everybody's talking about he's sick in the chat. He had really bad pneumonia, I think.
It wasn't diverticulitis. He almost died.
Yeah, he legit almost died.
So regardless, okay. So on that match, that's a now down for me and for Austin. Okay. We got him back though because the tag match between Young Bucks and Ospreay and Strickland, we both picked Ospreay and Strickland, whereas all the Faulkners, and Matt, I'm including you as a Faulkner now. Okay. They picked the Young Bucks to retain their EVP titles. Any thought process behind that, Jamie?
Yeah, 100%. I just listened to Vegas.
Oh man,
listen to my heart. Listen
this
to my
was
heart.
written on the
How
wall.
great that storyline's going to be, and knowing in my head that storyline's going to be great. That has to be that way. And I'm like, no, like because the betting odds swayed really hard towards the Bucks. I'm like, man, that's crazy. Like somebody knows something. All right, I'm going to try to be slick here, and then find out my daughter and them did. I was like, shit. I got it wrong. Like I knew as soon as they picked it, I knew I had it wrong.
As soon as they picked it. My, how the mighty have fallen. She's now in front of all my extra electronics there. See,
Heather's on a Timu kick, and I'm here for it.
Austin said something last week that's really resonated with me, which kind of swayed my stuff that I was like a little bit on the fence for, back and forth. This was one of them that I would have been on the fence for a little bit. But Austin really said in last week's show, again, and for those of you who have not, you hit that subscribe button down below, hit the little bell icon, you know when we go live, but we do this every Wednesday. But last week he talked about this is AEW's reset, right? And he ended the show talking about how they're going to leave All In with Hanger with the world title, Toni with the women's title, the Bucks no longer in power, so on, so on and so forth. This is like the AEW winning the war and moving forward, the new AEW, right? So that's kind of where I went with my thought process on this, right? The storyline of the Bucks going through the hard times to get them off the ledge, coupled with the fact that you're not going to not have sometime in the next year either Will and or Swerve in the title picture. Come on. This was a layup.
Yeah, the stipulation about them not challenging for a year was just to put stakes on the match, because otherwise, why would the Bucks put their EVP titles on the line? Mm-hmm. It was just there to trick suckers into thinking the Bucks were going to win. The Bucks had to lose this match. We have seen everything there is to see with the Bucks on their power trip as EVPs, and it's been good. Like, that was some of the best character work. The matches are always great with the Bucks, but that was some of their best character work I've ever seen out of the Bucks. But it had run its course, and this one, I would have bet the house on Swerve and Ospreay winning that match.
I didn't go with my head. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Everything you said is 100% true. I was a sucker. I bought into the hype of they're keeping Swerve and Ospreay away from the title for a year to give Hanger a nice long run.
Yeah. So you didn't go ahead. You did lose that point there. We didn't have the TNT title on there. I totally forgot about the match, and then all of a sudden find out right before the show starts that Adam Cole's vacating the title. That sounded like a retirement farewell. But, I mean, he's not officially retired or whatever, but this is his like X number head injury in the past however many years, right? I think it's going on like a Danielson Edge sort of thing, right? Where they're like, let's take all the time in the world and see if you can actually legit do this, because I saw a slow motion of when it happened, the collision before, right? Yeah, he was just back into form too, which is the worst part. He just got back wrestling wise, old Adam Cole, and then it's like, I mean, head injuries are a son of a bitch. They've ended how many sports people's careers early. So hopefully he's well.
The dirt sheet rumor was Adam Cole was going to retire on Saturday.
Yep.
And they told him, like, go out there, talk to the people, but just wait. You have time before officially saying anything. Yeah. And it's very likely we never see Adam Cole wrestle again, which would be a shame, but like, take care of your health, dude. Like, take care of your brain. You only get one of those.
Yeah. As much as he's been, it sucks.
And yeah, like you were saying, he was looking like prime Adam Cole again. I was really looking forward to him and Kyle Fletcher too. I thought they were going to kill it.
Yes.
Yeah. That was going to,
because we all had Kyle Fletcher winning.
Yeah, that's why it didn't matter that it didn't make it on the pick sheet because we were all going to pick Kyle Fletcher anyway.
No. Austin did throw Fletcher in there. I should have given him a demerit, but I didn't. Because whatever.
But hey,
no,
I specifically said Kyle Fletcher beats Adam Cole, not Kyle Fletcher wins the TNT title.
You said also. So that
Fletcher. Was void.
No, you just said also Fletcher is what you threw in there.
I'm pretty sure I put Fletcher beats Cole.
No, you say also. I have it literally Fletcher. In front of me here. Also Kyle, also comma Kyle Fletcher. That's what you said.
Fake news.
It doesn't matter. I did not give you a demerit. I did not deduct anything for you. So stop your complaining. It's fine. All right. We all were going to pick Kyle Fletcher. Let's be real. We all were going to pick Kyle Fletcher if that match was 1-on-1.
But right? I don't think I'm going to pick. I'm not going to pick him anymore. He got Def Rebelled. He did, dude. That music, his new music sucks.
Yeah, it's not the best.
It's not the best. I do like the way
Okada. Oh, dude, I almost cried when I heard Okada's bullshit.
Put a pin in that. That's for Dynamite. Right. We're gonna bury the fuck out of that.
I'm like, his presentation's great, but what the fuck is this?
That's
exactly how I was.
I don't despise Kyle's new music. I kind of like the way it starts. The Pro Star thing, the new graphics, cool. But yeah, I got so used to the post-hardcore deathness. It just all of a sudden it's up, nope. There's my screen. It froze. Son of a bitch.
Yep. Got it. We still are not moving.
No, we're back. It'll take a second. It's now going
there we
again.
Go. Yeah, we're back. My face.
I told him earlier. I spent all this time this weekend. I watched all these different things. I found a guy on TikTok that streams on through Twitch on through his Mac, and he's like, "Here are the settings to do." So I went and redid like all my encoders. I created a custom encoding profile and did this whole thing just like he said to do. Right?
Technology, folks.
One day we'll figure it out.
I am gonna figure this out. I am not gonna let this beat me. It will not defeat me.
I don't know. But my frozen face there, I did take a snip of it.
You got some of yourself there.
What is going on?
Good. All right. Sorry about that technical glitches. And for those of you watching out there, first time here, that's a bit now too. We are committed to the bit.
Hey, if you could give us a like at least for us freezing, that'd mean a lot. For me, because my face was amazing.
All right. Anyway. Nobody would have picked. We all would have picked Kyle Fletcher, and then if somehow we would have caught this and all got picks in ahead of time for the 4-way, I have a very good feeling that I don't think any of us would have picked Dustin Rhodes to win that title. Right?
Wouldn't have at the time, but in hindsight, it was screaming in our faces. The second that match was announced, because my first thought was, why are Dustin and Sammy wrestling again? Why aren't we just getting Daniel Garcia and Kyle Fletcher, which would also be great? And it should have been clearly obvious. Oh, this is what they're doing.
They're in Texas. They're giving him to give him the old Christopher Daniels treatment from ROH, right? Give him that one belt before the end. Yeah.
It was, fan service for the crowd. This entire show was fan service in the best way possible. Good moment for the crowd in Texas. I didn't care for it at the time because it was already like 1:30 in the morning. So I started it late and I was like, why are we doing this here and now? But in hindsight, it was the move.
So around this time here, we got, by the way, just to make my heart is content. The way things are shaping up, it's coming down to a 2-dog race. It's basically between Austin Reddick and myself, which made me very happy. That was solidified by our women's pick by far, right? Basically ruled out any chance of another dog entering that fight. But where things really got spicy was during the women's casino gauntlet, because we were all over the damn board on this one, okay?
Yeah.
So Jamie and myself picked Chris Statlander. Matt picked Megan Bain because we were all thinking logically, those are the two women who show up on the poster anytime they bring up this match. Obviously, one of them has to be the winner, right?
Yeah, another Texan.
Another Texan arises, one that we all should have seen coming. Both Austin and Megan picked correctly. They picked Athena. This had a lot.
This was one of the hardest ones to pick.
Yeah, it was.
I thought I was like, for sure it's going to be one of the two women that they already have, kind of like the only two women they're advertising for this. I was hell-bent on the emo Statlander angle, right? You know, I thought she would screw Willow to get the victory, making her even more of a heel, right? You know, that's what I thought. So, whatever.
So, like I said, this pay-per-view in hindsight was all fan service.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was picking, I was like, you know what? They're in Texas. It's Athena. But also, I figured...
Should have been obvious.
I figured if Athena wins the women's casino gauntlet, people are going to think Mercedes absolutely wins the women's title match.
Yeah.
Even though that wasn't what was going to happen. But it just opened up the most storyline possibilities going forward.
Yeah.
And as soon as she hit that O-face on Mina, I was like, yes, I know I got this now.
An O-face that broke her hand. How is that possible, JB?
I don't know. Like, was it from when she went down? I don't get it. It looked great. The setup of that O-face was amazing.
Oh, I mean, it's one of my favorite moves of all time, right? I mean,
So good.
It's pretty solid.
First time
And
I
so
saw
it
it
had
was in
their-
NXT, and it's still to this day. It's just I love that move so much.
So I got, fortunately, when I was coming up wrestling down in Texas, I worked a lot of shows with Athena at the time.
Cool.
And she was busting that out a decade ago. And it was still like one of the coolest moves I'd ever seen. We had Heather in chat saying she likes Athena being in this. She seems like a credible threat to Toni. Heather, I'm going to go one step forward, and I'm predicting right now Athena takes that title off of Toni.
I second that motion. And as much as I want to disagree with you just to be that dick, I can't here. Like, literally cannot agree harder. She's winning it. She's winning it at their next pay-per-view. When is that?
Forbidden Door is at the end of August.
24th.
So, okay. So, yeah, Forbidden Door. She could take off her Forbidden Door. They're going to make it a three-way or something like that. Or she might, you know what? I could see Athena doing it the right way and turning it in. And like, I got you, bitch, type thing. Because she seems like that type.
Well, and we'll talk about that when we get to Dynamite too. You know, and for what it's worth, because of the way Forbidden Door has evolved, I don't think Forbidden Door has to be every match has a CMLL, or, you know, there could be some matches on it that are just AEW matches, right? I don't think that just because it's Forbidden Door that every match has to include Stardom or New Japan or CMLL, period. Just saying, right?
Yeah. Could be Forbidden Door, could be All Out, could be a Dynamite between now and then, but Athena's taking that title.
Well, it remains seeing how they do that, you know. Squatch talking about the belt collector. And side note, just for those of you who are keeping score at home, the rest of these matches, like I said, we got people that disqualified. Austin and myself did pick the same for the rest of them. So it was at this point in the night, Austin officially became our new champion. So we remove that from Jamie. Let me put it on. Yes, he still has the physical belt because he is that type of heel. So
Might have lost, but we've won the war.
He's a fake member. He's a fake. He is setting you up for a turn. You don't realize it, Jamie. This is what you pine for this. And this man who you thought you've brought into your fold is setting you up to turn in your face in the future. You just don't see it. It's going to be glorious when it happens because that's what you really want. You want the turn.
Basically the giant of the FWO. Sometimes I'm in, sometimes I'm not. Just kind of depends.
Sometimes maybe shit.
I equated you to Dennis Rodman of the FWO earlier tonight, so whatever.
No, Rodman is for life.
So I would like,
or for about 6 months, either or,
I know we still even finished the damn pay-per-view, but I do want to talk about Squash's question because I think this is a good question for all of us, especially
all right,
you.
Go for it. Yeah, let's go for it.
Squash's, my question is: once you build a belt collector, I want to make sure I get the quotes in there. Then you have to deconstruct that character by making them lose all their titles. How do you do that and still keep them strong?
So,
go ahead.
Okay,
try
so
to get my words here.
What you have to keep in mind is that only one of the titles Mercedes holds is really relevant to AEW, that TBS championship. The other ones, other companies,
sort of.
A little bit of CMLL, but the other ones, those companies are putting her on her because she's a big star and brings eyes to their product. You're not going to see her lose any of those on AEW TV. Even then, Mercedes could lose her next dozen matches and she is still going to look strong because she spent the last year plus beating everybody and beating them clean. She's not one you have to really worry about keeping strong just because she is Mercedes Moné. She could beat anyone at any time. You're going to be like, oh yeah, that makes sense. So it's not really a big deal. And it was far more important for a character that she didn't win here. Because we talked about this last week. We've been talking about since this match was announced. If Mercedes wins, where do you go from there? Mercedes just beats everybody. Like, you no longer even care about seeing her lose. You just don't want to see her anymore. Now her character is more interesting. What's next for Mercedes? You're somewhat interested now because she's finally seen some adversity.
And I think you look at it too. You hit the nail on the head, right? See, a lot of those titles don't necessarily matter, right? You're absolutely right with that. And they're accessories, really, just for this whole thing, right? She doesn't even need to bring them anymore to AEW TV, right? Because they don't matter, right? I said the CMLL one, the New Japan Strong when she had it, those did kind of matter, but not really even then. So, and she's come out without them too in recent times. She's come out just wearing the TBS title. So, I mean, I think you can pivot away from that easily enough. But it doesn't necessarily need to be the story for Mercedes Moné, right? She's still a TBS champion.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I agree with you guys on some things. I disagree on one thing. I think she will lose the CMLL championship on AEW TV. Actually, I think she's gonna lose it in August, to be more specific.
Okay.
I could see her losing it right then and there, because it's Forbidden Door, it's perfect time. But to your point, I kind of look back at when Ultimo Dragon was the ultimate belt collector, when he had 9 different belts at one point.
It was a lot.
The two arms outstretched. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's one of the greatest shots I've ever seen my whole entire life. But he started losing, and then they made that his story, and it became a redemption arc for him. Even though he knew what we're getting with Ultimo Dragon, he's one of the greatest mat wrestlers of all time. You fight me on that. I think he's one of the best, and they made that redemption arc for him in All Japan, and literally he came out even stronger and bigger than he was before, and he was already a star then. So it's this is going to be great for Mercedes, especially as she really leans hard into losing it, and maybe we do see some more depth out of her character instead of just being this snobby asshole, which I mean I love, but her timing's not always the best, but I love the idea of her.
Not always the best. As in not good at all.
But,
yes, but
yeah, but what I'm saying, it's a good story. It's a good spot for her.
Yeah. And on that note, so again, Austin and I were the only two who selected Toni to win, right? No. Matt did as well. I apologize. Matt had some foresight. One of the few he got right tonight over the course of the night. He had a lot of swings and a lot of misses, but he got this one right here.
I'm glad they did it the right way.
Did you guys hear that? It is still storming outside my door. That's a big old thunderclap. Sorry. If the stream goes dead, it's because JJ lost power. I'm just putting it out there for the internet. Okay, FYI.
Lost power. He's not dead.
I'm fine. Yeah. But yeah. So there's that. Now that was the first of the triple main event. The next one.
Hold on. You're just gonna gloss over the move of the night and that.
No. Okay. Moving the night. Go. What are you talking about?
Yeah, the vag bite, dude. Haven't seen one of those busted out since 1978.
The vag bite. Well, there's only two things from Texas, and Toni Storm is at least one of those things. So,
did you see? Oh, hold on. We got to talk about her press conference. Did you watch her press conference?
Of course I did. That's the only part of the. Because it was like 3 a.m. at that time, but I still went and found just that snippet and watched it. Oh my God! Everyone just gets better and better.
I want her and Wendy Richter so bad.
I know. Tony Khan,
in 2026.
Fuck you.
Toni Storm and Wendy Richter.
It was the fuck you list. It was so good, and then she carries off. Yeah, the fuck off list. Fuck you. Fuck off. Whatever. The fuck off list. And then she just randomly just decides to pick up and carry Renee out of the press conference. It was like, oh my God, so good, so good. Anyway, so that was the first of the triple main event. Next, you had everybody's wet dream finally happening again. Kazuchika, the Rainmaker Kazuchika Okada versus Kenny by God Omega for the unified title. The big match feel of all big match feels. I mean, Kenny coming out live singing, even though he had a little pyro thing that didn't quite go off quite like as it should, though. The production of him, I mean, they had a lot of really great entrances. They had Swerve coming out. JoJo Offerman, how about a big shout out to Bray Wyatt's widow, JoJo coming out singing his, Shaka Khan, his original Indies theme, right? I mean, Mercedes driving out the classic Cadillac with the train that had everybody she beat on it, I mean, but Kenny Omega knows how to do big matches and big match entrances. Oh, it's so good. As much as I like his
I like that Osprey got the Rey Mysterio trampoline gimmick.
I know, right? I know. And it's such a mark move for him because he is such a Assassin's Creed mark, right? He's got the tattoo. He basically has garnished this whole partnership with AEW and Activision for Assassin's Creed. But hey, if you can make it work, right?
He's a character in Assassin's Creed now.
He's legitimately a character, a playable. Oh, is he playable? Or is he NPC? He's NPC, right?
No, he's supposed to be playable.
Oh, okay. I'm not really in Assassin's Creed,
so I don't know. Or whatever. He's gonna be the dude.
Right. Well, I mean, I love the crossover. I mean, and as much as I prefer Kenny Omega's Best Bout Machine music, that's just for me that hits the spot, right?
Oh, good.
I understand the point of this, and I do get the point too that I mean his big thematic, big match pay-per-view music is done by the Final Fantasy composer. He's such a Final Fantasy mark. I'm just like that's pretty badass, right?
I don't know about y'all. I did not expect the guy singing that theme to look like that.
No. Me neither, but
so maybe better.
Well done, but just not what I would expected that gentleman to look like.
I side note, I really appreciated the Whistler before Adams, Hangman Page's entrance.
Yeah.
That cool.
Can we talk about that presentation of how they did that?
Yeah.
Like the subtleties. Did you appreciate the subtlety of how they were looking at the heel side and they panned over real quick to the face side?
Let's wrap up Okada and Omega before we get to the main really quick.
Okay, yeah, because that shit just popped me.
So
that's a whole we get
this match, and I know we've already gone over an hour. We haven't even got done with the pay-per-view. But I mean, this was the biggest pay-per-view in the US for AEW. Okay, so bear with us. We'll blast through Dynamite time. Don't worry, guys.
Don't worry. And Goldberg retired.
Yeah. Not the same as it was 7 years ago, right? And you shouldn't have expected it to be. But in its own right, I think you can put it up there close to those other ones. I mean, nothing's ever going to catch 7-star magic. You know, you're never going to get all the way there, right? But I still felt like this was up to expectations.
It was. I think for me, it got lost in the shuffle of the back half of the pay-per-view a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But there was no way it was going to exceed expectations. Like,
no.
They're just older than they were at the time. They're both still very good. Like, they haven't really lost a step, but great match. Just, I was less invested in this than like anything else in the back half of this pay-per-view.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think everybody knew what this match was. So we're like, cool. I don't have to worry about that. But what Toni and Mercedes were doing, especially what Hanger was doing, like,
Ooh.
I was more invested on those stories because I already knew I was gonna get out of this match.
Yeah.
Did it leave me wanting? That's the big question. Did this match leave you wanting? Yes, it did.
Yeah.
But
which is good.
But it was still really damn good.
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like that was good that it left you wanting too, because everybody, like we all said, this match is the match you've been dreaming for, match they had to get to. They were put on the biggest stage that it needed to be, right? But they had much bigger stories to tell, right? And as chintzy as it may sound, Okada Omega is the silver bolt you can pull out of your chamber whenever you need a big one anyway. You got them both in your company. So, time presents itself, you can revisit it at a much bigger stage. Or make them the much bigger stage, if it comes to that. We all picked Omega, by the way. We all had that wrong. There was, there's that.
Did, I'm okay with it. I was joking that Okada was going to win. You guys like, there's no way. I'm like, I know. And then he does. Like,
hey, look what happened. All right. You're not wrong, Heather. You're not wrong.
Like,
so,
two other ones that might be
your main event. So you come in, Hangman Page, Jon Moxley, begin the chaos of the Texas Death Match. Like I said, I love the entrance they did for Hanger with the Whistler and all that, you know. Went back to his original music as well, which somebody called that. Yep. Hold on a second. Let me give you your stamp. All right. There you are. Boom. All right.
I need to bust out the hat again. I'll bring out the hat next week, guys.
Yeah, I missed the hat.
And now let's circle right back to, as Jamie was saying, the amazing production detail of Hanger's entrance.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm teeing that up for you, man. That's you can take that from there.
Yeah. So it's just the subtleties, you know, because they do the close up of him always coming out of the heel side. And then they did that super quick pan over because he came out of the face side. And it's like that full redemption arc transformation just happened. He went from pain to acceptance to moving forward literally after a whistle. Like, it was so well done. And at that point, like, I was already hyped for this match. Like, I was like, let's go. And like, I was watching this match at 3:00 in the morning. I'm like, this thing's going to be fucking flames. And it was everything I wanted. And it actually exceeded expectations. And I wasn't pissed off that Darby Allin showed up.
That's where we got our point. Yeah, got our bonus point in, because of course Darby's showing up in the main event. But you have everything going on here. It is just a clusterfuck of brutality, which it would be a great name for your next metal album. I'm just going to put that out there. Okay, clusterfuck of brutality. Give me a copy. Beginning with dueling forks, 90 seconds in. Which, I mean, this, as much as this pay-per-view was great, this really felt like going to, Jamie and I have done this. We've gone to several promotions. I know that up at Iowa, Revolver, they do this a lot, where they'll, and you know, GCW does this a lot too, where they'll do the show, they'll take like a 5-minute break, and then they'll have the death match afterwards, right? Let's give a chance for the kids to clear out if they want, and then they go like full on, let's go balls to the wall. That's what this show reminded me of, because it's like, And yes, it needed to be brutal. It needed to be bloody. This was meant for this story to go this way, Austin, but it did have that almost GCW-esque feel of here's the show and then here's the death match at the end sort of thing.
So I have long been explicitly clear with my thoughts on the last man standing matches and the standing 10 count and how dumb it always is. This was the best it has ever been done. It helps that it can also end by submission. So it's not just going to like that. But the way they milked those 10 counts in between the bigger spots, like the pacing on this was perfect.
Yeah.
I said months ago, that wasn't months ago, but as soon as we knew that Hanger was in this match, Hanger's got to win and Swerve's going to help him at the end. I knew it was coming. I'd known it was coming for weeks, and it still over-delivered. The entire ending of this match.
Yeah.
And the post-match, Hanger taking some time to get that briefcase open. Justin Roberts waiting to announce until he finally raised that title.
So the back quarter. Let's focus in on the back quarter, okay?
Yeah.
Because that's when you have all the clusterfuck really happening, right? Death Riders be getting involved and doing all this stuff here. Then you got you got Outcomes Will Ospreay. You've got, those trying to get it. Will gets put off on a stretcher. He's taken off, right? And it doesn't seem like because the Ops were taken out earlier in the show. Joe was taken off in a stretcher. He's in a hospital, right? Who else is left to come to his aid? Enter a blue masked man. That was one Mr. Bryan Danielson, and it was the perfect, little. As again, you're not going to be totally done. Danielson, he's going to show up in spots, and I love this spot for him to show up and do that. And he is accompanied, yes, by the aforementioned Darby Allin, stinging out from the rafters, coming down, not very fast, but he came down.
Real quick on those two specific run-ins. Did it seem to y'all like it was way better an idea than execution? Because they showed the Darby video from Everest, and then a man that was obviously Bryan Danielson because he was wearing a blue demon mask comes in, and then Darby slowly repels. Like, it seems like when they were planning it out, they were trying to make you think the blue mask guy was Darby. But it was clearly Bryan Danielson. He'd be the only guy in the world wearing a blue demon mask that's not Blue Demon. And then you had the kind of slow fall from the top. It all still worked, but I was watching that thing and I bet that seemed like such a better idea in someone's head.
Yeah, I feel like maybe you could have done it a little bit different, but I didn't have as big a problem with that. Yeah.
I didn't have a problem with it. It was just kind of funny.
So they come out and clear out most of the people, the Death Riders. They literally clear them out, and Gabe Kidd, right? Which leaves you with the Young Bucks who show up to try and screw over him. And then Moxley tells Marina to go get the belt. He's going to open it. He has to take the key off, says, go get the case. I want him to smell what he'll never have, right? He wants to literally put the belt in his face before he KOs him, right? So she gets mysteriously handcuffed by one little hidden Prince Nana, which of course the crowd just lost their ever-living shit for because they're like, where Nana goes, so goes Swerve. And here comes Swerve, comes out with the big chain decked around his waist, decks the Young Bucks, and in the slickest of moves that makes you both very right. And yes, I'll give you your stamps, okay? You're both getting a stamp there. I hope you're happy. All right? Here comes Swerve. They had a whole thing like the week before, right? How, they almost forgive each other sort of thing, right? But not really, right? He just kind of stares him down. Doesn't smile, doesn't do anything, but just slides him the chain, and walks away. The most badass way to get involved.
Did y'all see their segment from Collision?
Yes. That's the same chain.
That's right.
Again, just the little details that make these things so much better. Hanger leaving the chain in the locker room and Swerve bringing it out there at the end. Again, you knew this was the story, but sometimes stories should end how you expect them to, and they still over-delivered. Right. This was some of the best storytelling I've seen in pro wrestling in God knows how long.
Which again is cornered on this firm belief, which I'm giving myself a stamp for, about this is still. The reason this is so good is because this is their cornerstone long-term story. Not the Hanger redemption arc. Hanger and Swerve. That is the multi-year. These are the pillars of the company. These two right here. Throw Ospreay in there if you want. Kenny, sure, whatever. But no. Kenny, Hangman, and Swerve are AEW.
Yeah, like going back to Heather's Lord of the Ring analogy from earlier, Hanger raising that title felt like the Eagles flying Frodo out of Mordor at the end of that. Like,
just stir that pot. Just stirring it. He's just stirring that pot there.
This was
there on him in the first place.
This was just so good. And like I said, the pause while Hanger got the briefcase open, Justin Roberts waiting to announce him as a champion until he raised that title that we haven't seen in 9 months over his head. Oh, it was just
still had Bryan Danielson's side
afterwards.
plates on it, by the way,
which I loved. I love the little things, man.
The little touches, man. I'm telling you, oh, so good.
So,
for those of you,
so good.
For those of you wondering, had we gone to a tiebreaker, okay? Of course, all the Faulkner clan, they were out of it. They all picked over 40 minutes as well. Matt picked 40 minutes, 47 seconds. Megan's like 45 plus. Jamie's at 41 and change, 41 and a half. Okay. But it would have come down to myself and Austin. Okay. Austin picked 27 minutes and 1 second. And I picked 35 minutes and 41 seconds. Did you guys see? I recorded. Did you guys see what the time was for that match?
It's like 20.
It was long. I know that.
It was 35 minutes and 55 seconds. 14 seconds off, I would have been.
Yeah. Didn't matter. You get it done in regulation, you ain't got to worry about overtime.
Yeah, still don't matter.
All right. Well, congratulations, Austin, I guess. He is our current champion. So there is that. Woo! Boy, that was a hell of an AEW pay-per-view, boys.
It was. And before we move on, there is something I noticed watching this pay-per-view that I want to throw out there.
Yeah.
The casino gauntlet match, both of them, which another little detour, it won't take long. The women's casino gauntlet match was probably my favorite match of the night. Not the best match of the night.
Okay.
But that was probably my favorite. But the casino gauntlet matches in general, I feel like they have nailed what used to be awesome about the Royal Rumble. And they found a modern way to do it that is way more entertaining, way less filler, and a lot more fun.
Yeah.
Good way to put it. That's a great way to put it.
That was all I had.
Oh, that's all you had. Okay. All right. So you want to get to Dynamite, boys?
Dynamite.
Let's get to Dynamite. We're gonna save the stash for next week because we took a while on all in. But next week, spoiler alert. Next week on the stash, we're gonna go back to the first AEW pay-per-view and we're gonna talk about how far they've come.
We're gonna talk about more pay-per-views, but yeah, we spent quite a long time talking about this pay-per-view. So Dynamite, post pay-per-view Dynamite. Okay, you had a couple matches on the show. You're setting up some new stuff a little bit, but this is really because the next pay-per-view is Forbidden Door. Jamie's long said, that's always been that little oddball run, right? Where it kind of takes a little detour story-wise. So you're basically continuing on wrapping up stories more or less from All In. You begin with Hangman. He comes out. He does a whole thing. He thanks everybody that has, paved the way for him AEW-wise, which includes, and he lists them off, Orange Cassidy, Jay White, Adam Copeland, The Ops, Bryan Danielson, Darby Allin, Will Ospreay, and Swerve Strickland. Very begrudgingly thanks Swerve, says, and puts that little qualify in there. I don't know if you did this for yourself or for this, or, so the slight little backhand there. Of course, he is now the champion of the fucking world, so there is that.
I love that Swerve came out and helped him, and it wasn't what we typically see in pro wrestling is like, oh, well, we're both good guys now, like, everything's cool and we're friends. Like, Hanger is the most consistent yet changing character in pro wrestling history. Everything matters. Really everything is remembered. It is, like they always say, he's the main character of AEW. It's just one long arc of what's happening to Adam Hangman Page.
Yep.
Great babyface promo.
Oh, yeah, and here's the thing, gentlemen. Do you remember his first title run? I sure do.
Oh yeah, Jamie is long lamented that first title run, if I remember correctly.
Do you remember what happened the following Wednesday?
No.
He wasn't on it. But gentlemen, this Wednesday, still today, was a monumentous occasion because it has been 9 months, 6 days, or 280 days since we have seen the AEW Championship on Dynamite.
Boom. And
Feels good, man.
He wore it. He wore it the whole time. It was fantastic. He has a match at the end of the night, by the way. So, yeah, hold on to that thought. You do get a Kyle Fletcher match. Kyle Fletcher, Mascara Dorada.
Good enough, Rebel. Sorry.
I enjoyed this match. You know, I think this is more, again, I said, a pathway for you to kind of retell, you know, set up the story for Fletcher's taking that belt off of Dustin Rhodes. We all know this, okay? And he vows to take everything from him. All right, good. Keep on with that. Young Buck, stop me. I'm gonna blow through this. You guys stop me if you want to like elaborate.
No,
okay?
you're good. All right. Yeah.
I'm gonna throw out one quick thing, not to make the show run long, but I think this would be a good question. I'm gonna throw out to y'all. Now that Hanger's won the title, and we've seen on Dynamite for the first part in 9 months, was the payoff worth it?
I'm gonna say yes.
Because I know there were some dire times earlier this year where we were like, can we just see the title on TV? Was the juice worth the squeeze?
Yeah, I think so, because this story was epic.
I think so as well. And I think it's because you get a lot of the just let it play out, just let it play out. And this is one of the first times I remember just let it play out really being worth it.
I think it was just the right amount of time. I think that we all wanted to end sooner, but we always do. We're wrestling fans. That's what we do, right? We want what we want now. I think it was just long enough.
I'm glad we had to wait.
Yeah.
The payoff was so worth it. And it's like, I mean, it's just like, it's the second greatest story maybe of all time, this whole arc. I think the first one is, you know, this kid finds out that he's got special powers, and then he gets trained by people in order to use said powers, finds out that his parents really aren't dead, were dead, got killed by the person, but find out that person is a little bit more involved, and then they end up finishing their story. Yes, I'm talking about Harry Potter. No, I was kidding. I'm talking about Star Wars. But anyway, actually, it's the exact same story.
He's trying to take a dig at you, Heather, because yes, that's what he's trying to do.
No walk to the damn ball. The only thing that made it better is if we find out some way that Moxley is Hanger's dad.
Oh God! All right. So you do get a quick Young Bucks promo, okay? Young Bucks promo, and it shows them going down to the bowels of the arena there. Ricochet's even laughing at them, right? You know, and Don Callis is was like gives him like an olive branch, whatever, right? Quick Hurt Syndicate promo. A lot of heel shit going on here, right? Okay, it's all pretty boilerplate stuff, but I still liked it. I know that you not a fan of the talking he does, but in the video, I mean, the way that, because MJF is next in line to really come up against Hangman. And when they get to that, we'll talk about if it makes sense for Hangman to lose to MJF this soon. Okay, there's arguments to be made for that. I will make those later. I liked this promo, though. I thought this was a great MJF heel promo.
I fully agree. I don't hate everything MJF does. Just far too often it's low hanging fruit
It's
and
cheap
just
heat. Yeah, cheap heat's a
shit
thing.
that doesn't befit a top guy. This was a top guy heel promo. This was exactly what you needed.
Yeah.
And the fact that he also used CM Punk words against him was even better.
And just remember, fire cannot burn a dragon, Jamie. You did have a they do a good job kind of consistently post pay-per-view of, hey, we're just gonna put out a bunch of banger matches, right? Because everybody had a big blow off. So let's throw out there, Josh Alexander, Hechicero and the Young Bucks versus Bandito, Jet Speed, and Brody King. Yeah, why not? Fuck it. Let's ball, right?
I mean, this could have been at a VFW hall in Reseda, California. This was another edition of let's put the most PWG ass match we can out there, and it delivered.
It did. It was good fun. The crowd loved it. So this is going to be the venue for the next 3 weeks. This is their residency in Chicago that they're doing here. For the next
I love
3
this
weeks.
venue.
The venue is awesome.
It looks so cool.
It looks so cool. It's so cool. I mean, yeah.
So I want to pose this. I know we're trying to.
No, you're fine.
Burn through
You're
this,
fine.
but speaking of this place, well, obviously, gentlemen, the popularity of AEW is starting to grow. Do you think they're going to get out of these smaller arenas and go back to the bigger ones here shortly?
I think they might do a little.
Stay with us for a while.
I think they might do a little bit of that, but I think the intimacy creates uniqueness, and I worry about abandoning that because you've been able to focus so much more on, creating this like really good atmosphere that just going back to your, NBA, NHL size arenas every single week, like WWE does. I don't like it. Every once in a while, cool, right? Yeah, you're rolling into a town where you can do it. Awesome, fantastic, do it, right? I like the idea of this kind of more intimate venue, though.
So, I kind of hope they don't ever go back to arenas. AEW is not meant to be arena wrestling. Their big shows, their pay-per-views, absolutely, but their weekly TV looks so much better. Like you're saying, these intimate venues. It's a better television product in these unique buildings than your typical NBA and NHL arena that all look the same inside. It looks better on TV. Even if you had a fully sold out ball arena in Denver where the Nuggets play, like it's somewhat impressive to see a lot of people. But these small arenas, the fans that are there are still hot as shit the entire time. They're going to be loud. They're going to be into it. And it's going to look so much better. Yeah, you could sell more tickets in a bigger arena. Dynamite's a TV product. They still very much cater to the crowd that's there, which I appreciate. But keep your TV show looking good. Don't go chasing the big arenas.
Heather talks about scarcity being a draw as well, too, right? Exclusivity for it. People scrambling for tickets, I think it's got
baby.
I like the vibe too because I mean you know this and everybody watching the show for about time knows how big of a mark I was for like old school TNA, right? Early TNA, pre-Hogan TNA, right? Which they filmed in the Impact Zone at Universal Studios, right? And it was that smaller kind of intricate feel. Lucha Underground, right? They shot those in like weekend blocks in a sound stage in LA, right? But they dolled it up to make it look like. I feel like TV product. What do you think, Jamie? You asked the question. You got to have an answer.
I know. I think I love what they're doing right now. I like the exclusivity like we've been talking about, but I'm also thinking like they're going to get bigger and they're going to need the space because they are going to have that demand. I think they just keep people on the edge, and then finally just get the release. Like pay-per-views in big stadiums. I think that makes sense. Like bigger arenas, keep it there for right now. And then maybe go to bigger spots.
Well, I think you could do a little bit of both. I think you could occasionally do a bigger on a weekly show, right? Like, say you're rolling into Chicago, you can do the Now Arena during like a weekly show. Okay, cool, right? Maybe if you're rolling into somewhere else, though, you go to Denver, stay in the same thing, stay in the little more theater-esque style thing, right? I think you try to stay the more intimate as much as you can, but when every once in a while you can pull it out. And maybe some of these theme shows that Tony Khan loves to do so much, you actually put those in maybe a larger, not a big arena, but a larger arena, right? To make Winter Is Coming and some of these other things actually feel like a bigger deal, right? I like that idea better. But I don't think you need to change it. I say if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Okay?
Yeah, it looks amazing on TV. And all these venues have their own personality. Like it's unique. It's not just your typical arena.
I mean, COVID and the post-COVID run at Daly's place was great because it had this unique feel to it, you know?
Even pre-COVID. Like I said, I've been watching some older AEW, the first Fighter Fest and Fight for the Fallen at Daly's. It looked great, and it was packed.
So I'd love to, I say I'd love to see them go back to Daly's, but it's currently under construction because they're redoing the whole fucking stadium there. So yeah, there's that. You do have an Adam Copeland promo after this. There was a big chunk of kind of like your story for the night, right? He didn't come out to help Christian, okay? He came out to target FTR, right? And he says that he talks about Christian first, says he hopes to pulls his head out of his ass, right? You know, we all know what's coming with that. All right, moving on. Big Stoke comes out, says that if he even lays a finger on them, he's fired because he's talked to the networks on all this. And Copeland says, well, I could touch you. So he spears him. And yeah, there's that. So more fan service, but this is the right place for Copeland. Don't put him back. Like, we all agreed. The world title picture, no. People want the fan service. They want to sing the song. They want to see the pyro, right? That's why you have Copeland here.
They want to see him and Christian back together, which we're going to get. Did y'all happen to notice? It seems like he is no longer going by Cope.
Thank God.
Do what, Jamie?
They announced him as Cope.
His new shirt says Adam Copeland on it, and he was being referred to as Adam. Even Hangman in his promo called him Adam Copeland and not just Cope.
Yeah, no, I know, but like the announcers, everybody called him Cope, but Justin Roberts called him Cope.
Which is okay, but not completely.
Not even Adam Copeland is just Cope.
Yeah,
well, last time.
Hopefully.
Move away from the Cope. Move fully away from the Cope. Okay. Briscoe shoots a quick little promo. Then you get the women's match of the night, which was my favorite match of the evening, because you had Thekla versus Queen Amanada versus Willow Nightingale versus Chris Statlander for $100,000.
They've been doing this a lot more recently. I love the winner gets a fat check gimmick.
Sure.
Stakes.
Classic
that's
wrestling.
Why we're doing this.
Classic wrestling, right?
And yeah, this match killed it.
You had two pretty good rivalries you throw into a four-way match, and they all worked really well together, right? The ending wasn't really expecting that, although they've been kind of hinting at it, especially so during the women's gauntlet match, they had Thekla finally pulled out her spider suplex, right? And I know that this Thekla isn't the same Thekla that we got in New Japan, because New Japan's Thekla was such a reactionary, quick sort of, striker and hitter, but people age and grow and change. And I get it, right? I get it, okay? That's still my favorite Thekla, though, is just seeing her just do the whole spider walk to avoid a clothesline into a quick spear. And anyway, they do a little dueling spider suplex thing with her and Julia Hart, okay? And they both do a stare down, and they bring it back in tonight. So Julia and because Willow and Chris have their issues, and they take them up the ramp and they're gone, right? So out comes Sky Blue, distraction, Julia Hart missed in the face of Queen Amanada to allow Thekla to get the win, and all three of them standing in the ring. What are your feelings on Thekla in a little because doesn't really fit the dark goth atmosphere of Julia and Sky Blue, but they seem to be factioning the three of them up. What are your thoughts on that?
So I love the faction. I feel like Julia Hart and Sky Blue need someone to be behind. Julia Hart's coming along, but she's still kind of young, a little green.
Mm-hmm. She's like 23.
Sky Blue is
so,
what she is. Yeah, Sky Blue is what she is. She's fine. I might come across as a Sky Blue hater. Nothing against her. Just not a main star. I do think they both together need
a leader,
a third, and a little bit of a bigger star. And obviously down the road, now you got Julia Hart and Thekla going at each other when this breaks down, whenever that may be. So I think it's good for all parties involved. It also gives Thekla a little bit more just something going on. Like we've seen her wrestle. We kind of know what she's about. Now we've got something a little bit more interesting for her. Before we got to that, did y'all notice though during the pin, in what was a phenomenal 4-way match, Queen Aminata's upper body was basically perpendicular. Like her shoulder was a good 6 inches off the mat for that entire pin.
Right, we don't need you with your logic, okay?
I was wondering if you were going to say something that's
no. We are not talking. No, I have no idea what you're talking about, Jamie. What do you? Let's go back to my questions. Forget that last statement ever happened.
That's not even logic. That's just.
I don't need your eyeballs either, okay?
So their faction's gonna be called either Sin or Original. I'm hoping it's Original Sin, as it sounds really cool.
I
Sin.
like that.
It's called Sin at least. So I love the idea of it, just because, I mean, Thekla comes out to just straight metal, which yes, please. Maybe that's why they changed Fletcher to pop punk or whatever he's coming out to now. I don't know what,
because they have so many people coming out to like hard metal, which I love, but
yeah,
some varieties not bad.
But no, I love the idea of it, just because I think if you got a set of eyeballs, you can definitely tell Tekla's got it. Like, she has got it. And
she got great pop at the pay-per-view, and so
I mean, the thing that she was doing in the corner without using her hands and just straight popping herself up, just using ab muscles, was just like impressive as hell, first off. And then you look at her abs, you're like, okay, I see why.
Yeah, she goes to the Jay White School of Abs.
Yeah, dude, like she's sick. And you pair her with a Julia Hart who's very good at character work right now, learning, but not necessarily the best wrestler yet. And then you have Sky Blue, who is Sky Blue, and we know her abilities, and hopefully it's not a ceiling, maybe she's still green. I think it just makes a lot of sense. Plus, if you know one thing about Thekla, she loves her factions.
Yep. Yeah. And if you don't know what we're talking about, go back and watch some old Stardom. Yeah, you'll definitely understand for sure. So
yeah, the Idol Killer version, that's what we have now, and I'm all for it.
Right. But they're not carrying over the whole. It's not really the Idol Killer because
but like her ring style
her ring style is the closest to that, right? I said I preferred her like reactionary kind of back when she was in the was I can't remember what it was called when she was the Julia. What would they call themselves? The faction she was with back when she was with Julia back in the years ago. That was my favorite wrestling style of hers because that's where I really kind of found Thekla. And Aminata and Bane as a tag team. Yes, we all want that, Heather. We all think that makes a lot of sense.
Heather, were you on last week when I was talking about that, or are we just on the same wavelength? Because I threw that out there last week.
I think it's yes on both of those.
Need that. Queen Aminata. I'm glad they're just doing more with Queen Aminata. Queen Aminata rules.
She is. What was that?
DDM.
DDM. There we go. Yes.
I knew it was 3 letters.
Yeah.
Was it this? It was close.
So Aminata's come a long way too. So this is my favorite match of the night. I love this match, and I do really like the idea. Because it may seem odd at first, but I do really like the idea of putting Thekla in a small faction. I think that it does give Julia, because Julia Hart's, she is definitely over, right? Sky Blue, is a good kind of like sidekick, right? She could do the death match scene. Like she does some actually, yeah, she's had some killer death matches with Willow. Okay, let's be real, you know. But I feel like, you know, anchoring them gives you some weight, and you don't this way. People don't have to be mad about Thekla maybe not getting pushed or whatever. You know, I think it's a better way to handle stuff like this. I wish they would have done this with some of the other talent they had brought over and just shoved into a main event picture to then shelve them. You know, is a much smarter way to handle this. So, that's a good point there, Squatch. I'm just gonna say yes to that. Okay. Toni Storm has an acceptance speech, okay? In a very Toni Storm-esque manner. It was so good, you know. Interrupted, of course, by Athena and Billy Starks. You know, Athena does write down on her little thing there for her and Billy to see where she plans on challenging, but of course not going to let us know. So I think we talked about this earlier on. Yeah, we definitely feel like Athena's the right move. Right, whether she's the one that actually dethroned Toni or not, that remains to be seen.
She's the princess that's promised. How about that?
we're just pulling all the references tonight, guys. Patriarch will do a real quick promo. Nick Wayne and Chris Sabian, you know, say why they did what they did. I don't care. I like it. Cool. Good. We all agreed with that.
Kip Sabian should do all the talking for the three of them.
I agree.
Yeah. Definitely don't let Mother Wayne talk ever again. Nick's getting better, but I think that it works really well because Kip's so good at A, but also having him be the voice, you know, be like, you know, when you watch the extended edition of Return of the King, and they get up to the gate at Mordor when they're buying time for Frodo and Sam to cross across, right? Then you get the voice because Sauron's voice is detached from him. He's not fully back yet, right? So you have that entity that's just the giant mouth is the voice. So you have Kip Sabian as the voice of the patriarchy. I think works a lot better. Okay, and I think Heather can agree with me on that too. So
do I. I'm always down for good Lord of the Rings reference.
So Nick Wayne does nothing for you, Squatch. Okay, I've loved Nick Wayne since I've first saw him at like 16 years old wrestle. So I'm just like, yeah, I understand that though. I could definitely understand that feeling. They haven't really. He's still like 21 or 20. He's
20. Yeah, he said he's 20. He's got time.
He hasn't fully gotten his push yet. So, Kazuchika Okada beat. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, I'm here for what they're trying to do with him. I think Kip Sabian does need to do all the talking. Mama Wayne's just gorgeous, you know. So she's just tall. We got to see her really up close and personal.
She is tall. She is legit tall.
She's very tall. A lot taller.
She's as tall as I am. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, hi. Wow. Hi.
I mean, she's wearing heels, but she's like as tall as I was. I was like, whoa. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's fine. It's whatever. We already know what's happening. Luchasaurus and Christian. Call it now.
Yep. That's the way we go. Kazuchika Okada versus local talent. New music. Why? One of the few guys you don't need to touch the music on. You do.
Change it back. They got Toni to do it with Mina's music a few months ago. Maybe we can just like I'll tweet at Tony Khan and it'll give the Rainmakers proper theme back.
So the presentation, the all gold and all that stuff, keep that. That was great.
Yeah. Oh, that was cool. The black robe. Yeah, cool. I like that.
Yeah. The music, gotta go.
It's bad.
So bad. I'm like
this.
I'm like, why is he coming out to like pop metal, like pop rock?
Yeah.
Like,
well,
it's like, what is this?
It starts, I go, oh, so they got some different music. Okay. And then literally like 5 seconds later, I'm like, no, stop. No. It kept getting worse the longer the song went.
Yeah, I mean, unless he picked it and he loves it. It's like, dude.
Which, I mean, touche, but you're also wrong if you did. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Just put it back, please.
He's one of the few that his music needed no change. Ever.
It was perfect.
Ever.
Oh, if they ever change Osprey's music, I riot.
It's on my softball playlist for my team.
Same. I listen to it at the gym all the time. It's such a banger.
It is a banger. All right. So he beats up some local talent. I mean, so local I didn't even see his name flash on TV. So
yeah, me either.
There's that. Afterwards, he basically calls out Swerve, calls him a bitch for what he did to his friends, the Young Bucks. Swerve comes out, calls him a bitch. So we know what they're doing with Swerve, since they're not going to move him immediately into the title picture.
Perfect.
Do get rid of the other 2 belts, though. I know they came out with Don Callis holding them. Please get rid of that.
Oh, this was for Don Callis. That was 100% for Don Callis.
And that's fine. Although Austin and I talked about this last week. There's talk that they're going to keep all 3 together.
They asked Tony Khan during the media call before All In. He said the champion can carry all 3 belts if they want. Did y'all notice or hear that Tony Khan, after All In, confirmed that since the Continental Champion won the unified title, the unified title will be defended under Continental Championship rules, which means no interference.
I did not catch that.
Which makes Swerve and Okada that much more interesting because you're not going to have extra bullshit.
But it also gives it a 20-minute time limit, though, too.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I like that. Your main event was your typical post pay-per-view style main event, right? Run back the main from the pay-per-view in a slightly different fashion. So you have the Death Riders going up against Hangman, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Mark Briscoe. My personal favorite moment of the night was when Mark Briscoe did a "Boo this man!" Did you guys catch that live? Because I sure as shit did.
Yeah, that was great.
It was
again why they should not abandon these little theaters. I'm telling you, that was amazing. So the good guys win, and then you get a Sting is up in the. Darby is up in the balcony moment. Look at Jamie's face. Darby's back, Jamie. Gotta get over it, man.
No, I gave him his flowers.
Yeah.
I really like this because it gives Mox something, like it gives a reason for Mox not to go right back after Hanger for that title again. It gives him a side quest to go on. And we'll get the Darby Mox payoff people were thinking was going to be for the title, which I'm glad it's not. Hanger was absolutely the right move, but you do need to wrap that up as well. And I'm sure the Darby Mox match will be flames.
And I think what you can do now, even more than that, because you got a list that was presented earlier in the evening, right? You can have everybody going out for their revenge on Mox now that he's no longer the champion. Darby, Orange Cassidy, everybody he just listed on his little list, right? That gives Mox something to do, right? So he basically spends the next few months getting his ass handed to him, losing to all these people, right? Which maybe at that point, he changes his heart. Maybe he turns face down the road. Who cares, right? Mox is Mox. He's one of the best there is out there.
He can do whatever he wants, and he'll be fine with it.
We all agree with that statement, Squatch. We all know that at some point, Darby is going to touch that belt as his own, at least for a little bit. It is going to happen.
I'm saying he won't.
See, you don't think he ever will? Okay.
I think he will. It'll be a short run, but Darby's he means too much to AEW. I'm not personally a Darby Allin fan. Like, I don't hate him, but like does nothing for me. But for what he's done in AEW and how they position him and all that, it's going to be like when Jeff Hardy won the WWE title for a cup of coffee. Mm-hmm. He'll get that run at some point in time. I don't think it'll be anytime soon. There's a log jam at the top of the card. I think Hanger's going to have a good long run with that title.
No, I'm just saying at some point in time in the annals of AEW, when you look back 30 years from now, right, you're going to think, oh, yeah, there's that time that, Darby Allin held the title, right? Same thing they did with, Kofi. Same thing they did. I made mention Christopher Daniels in ROH when they gave him like the kind of like obligatory title run at the end of his career there. And That's fine.
I can name right now
Ladies.
7 talent minimum that deserve a title run before him.
Oh, we all can. I understand that.
So, but when you say deserve, there's different ways of looking at that. Talent-wise, absolutely. For what they've meant to AEW, what they've done for the company, Darby's pretty high on the top of the list of people that dude has killed himself for this company a million times.
Yeah.
It was Orange Cassidy, and I'd rather see Orange Cassidy with that damn belt.
And I think you'll see.
I wouldn't mind an Orange Cassidy run either.
You'll probably have the very same thing with OC run. And yes, the ladies do love Darby. Darby sells 1 million shirts. Okay. You don't have to see the appeal. Talk to Jamie's daughters about this, about why.
Only one. Megan hates him too, so it's fine.
Well, okay, touche. Well, Megan's a female version of you, so that explains a lot.
I feel bad for that.
I mean, I'm just saying it's going to happen at some point in time. It's going to be a very short run, but it's going to be one of those you touch the title sort of things, right? You know, here's your comeuppance, right down the road. It's just not anytime soon, though. We know that, which is good, though. Which is good. All right, so that was AEW. A lot going on. That wasn't all the wrestling we had this past week, though, gentlemen. Did you guys catch counter programming at all? I sure as shit didn't. I did see the highlights, though.
I've been waiting to talk about Goldberg all night, guys.
Let's talk about it.
Not really. Not really. All that needs to be said is Gunther did the Lord's work. It was as good as you could possibly expect out of a 14-minute Goldberg match. Still was not great. Saturday night's main event was not the Fed wrestling that was particularly good this weekend. There was another show, though. And if you didn't see Evolution, start to finish, a really fun couple hours of wrestling.
It was.
Great show.
Evolution was great.
I mean, so before you hopped on, me and Austin were talking about this, and it was like the original Evolution. It was the same way, right? It was just because they've never done a full women's pay-per-view, so they just threw out a shitload of good matches. Okay.
I mean, the fact that they were able to work in Naomi, who's been doing the best work that she has ever done, to slide in there and steal the belt from Io Sky in the during that Rhea Ripley match, which, by the way, was by far and away my favorite match of the night.
It was the best match of the night. I mean, I'm not gonna say best match of the weekend because we had All In there, but oh my god, one of the best matches.
Honestly, the tag team match was really good too, with like Alexa and Charlotte and all them.
Yeah,
Alexa and Charlotte are a surprisingly good tag team together. Who had that on their bingo card?
I was not expecting this to deliver as hard as it could, but the 3-way with Becky, Bayley, and Lyra was outstanding.
Yeah. It opened up. God. I'm like, damn.
The crowd was like amped at the beginning of that too. They were jacked for that shit, right?
I like the intimate setting style that they did for it too. Like it felt very close instead of the usual WWE.
It felt old school NXT-ish, right? Speaking of which, you had JC Jane surprise defending her title, which I know I've talked a lot about her. Austin's on board, but I'm
on the JC Jane train. I'm a fan.
She's 100%. I love Jordan too, but I'm just saying JC Jane.
But what happened made me very happy during that match, though.
Right. But I mean, JC Jane is very much a WWE talent. Like she would not. It would hurt her. Yeah. She would not work in AEW or Japan, but she doesn't have to. I mean, I'm all on board with her. I thought that was
I want her to have that 2004 JBL title run where the next match you're like, okay, she's gonna drop it now.
Yeah,
and just keeps winning. Just keeps winning.
That's what she's having right now. I mean, and then you have a lot of big talent that were tied up into the whole like battle royal thing, right?
Blake Monroe turning heel, being her true self.
That was
right over that.
They might as well have flown a blimp over the arena before saying, "Hey, come watch Blake Monroe turn heel." That was telegraphed, but it was
I know, but I was so happy when I saw it. I'm like, "Thank you." Why are you trying to make her a face? Because we all know she's not.
Yeah,
stop trying. And it's like
nobody believed her. Nobody really believed her as a face because she's one of those people that just can't be a face. It's just not possible.
Just has to be. You got it right.
Yeah,
the battle royal is really fun too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, no
surprises though, which I was a little upset with.
Yeah,
that's okay. I I like that
I don't think he really
they featured Lash
man.
Legend. I'm a much bigger fan of Lash. I hadn't seen much of Lash Legend, but she stood out in that battle royal.
Dude,
I like her. I hate her name.
Big, muscular, athletic woman. Yeah. She's what Jade Cargill wishes she could be, like in the ring.
And that's my wife during it. I was like, I wish Lash Legend had 60% of the aura that Jade Cargill has, because the in-ring ability is much better.
I mean, Jade Cargill,
she's like the same size.
All right. I'm just throwing this out here, okay? Because everybody said Jade Cargill going to WWE. Even us said that great move, all this stuff. Jade Cargill has not improved wrestling-wise one iota since she's been in the WWE.
She won't. She didn't have to. So she won't.
It's a one-string banjo. I just can't get over that, right? It's why I kind of grew out of favor with her in the second half of her run in AEW. She does nothing for me. Yes, she's the modern female Goldberg. Thank you, Squatch. That's how we bring a whole weekend back together. Okay, we end one Goldberg's career and we have another one, just with different plumbing, in the same company. So there's that. But no, Evolution was fantastic. So definitely go watch it. And if you're not going to watch it, at least watch that Rhea Io match, because
as bad as Saturday night's main event was, and get well better, Seth Rollins. It sucks he blew out his knee.
Yeah.
He confirmed it today.
4 to 5 months. Did
he really?
Yeah.
I mean,
there's speculation.
You think it's a work?
I mean, everything's
so the speculation is that he does have a minor problem with his knee, that they are making a bigger problem. So when he shows up at SummerSlam and cashes in during Cena versus Cody, you're not expecting it, which I would not be the least bit surprised about.
I would like that. I would love that.
Do you also speak? Can we let's button up Goldberg real quick. Let's just button up Goldberg real quick.
Let's do it.
Did you see that he's bitching about how they did him? It's like, they did you a favor, dude. They literally they allowed him to wrestle Gunther of all people, and he's bitching that he didn't get enough time with the mic. It's like, you never talk.
That's what people want is to hear Goldberg talk.
Yeah,
that'll put butts in seats.
Retirement's next.
That lazy boy, you're next. Yeah, so they cut off your speech. Whatever, man. I love Bret Hart's response to this whole thing. Because boy, have I not met a man who hates another man more than Bret Hart hates Goldberg. It was deservedly so. We all know. If you don't know what happened, look it up. Trust me.
I feel like that's largely a bit at this point. And the fact that Bret doesn't let it go is hilarious. But I think it's one of those things that it's just a bit that he just keeps running with. Anytime he gets asked about Bill Goldberg, he's going to talk shit about him.
I'm really hoping. I am so hoping. I mean, it's almost as long running as the bit that Steeler fans still feel like they're relevant. Like almost as long as the same bit.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. The 4 championship teams keep talking shit to me. I'm sorry. I apologize.
As a neutral party to the Steelers Chiefs conversation,
we're not even rivals. I don't even know why this is a fucking thing. Okay.
The Chiefs have had a very solid run over the last 5 years or so.
They have.
The Steelers have had a solid run for several decades.
Just saying.
I'm just saying. As a Bears fan with no dog in this fight, because they had one good season in 1985.
Well, in their peak, and
wins and losses matter, Jamie.
In their peak, he wasn't even born yet.
Steelers won 2009. They won a Super Bowl. They were in another one. I think the Steelers are always around.
Yeah, they won.
Yeah, but
they won 2 Super Bowls in the modern era. It was Bill Cowher's last year.
They needed to suck this year for Arch Manning. Then they could be relevant.
We have draft capital, though, so there's still a possibility, even though we're going to be in the middle of the pack because we know where it's going to end. We have draft capital. Hopefully we can move up. We'll see what happens.
I'm just saying, one day Mahomes is going to retire. We're all going to be sitting here still talking about wrestling, and it's going to be
by then.
It's going to be a long, unpleasant time for the Chiefs once Mahomes is gone.
Yeah, it will be, and the Steelers are still going to be probably about the same place as they are, which is
they'll be like 10-7 every year.
Right, but the Chiefs will be like 3 wins.
The moment that we surpass you in total of Super Bowls, as long as we have Mahomes, I will be insufferable to you.
Because you're already insufferable to me. What do you mean?
Oh, it'll be 10 times worse.
Yes. So
I'll be like, "What's up, second place?"
That's okay. So you see, Tom Brady did it by himself, but the Patriots couldn't do that. They could only match us. But you're gonna surpass us. Okay, good to know.
Since we dipped into NFL for a minute, did y'all see the sign at All In that said something along the lines of Hanger will be the first Cowboy to win a championship in Dallas in 30 years or something like that?
Yes.
96?
Yeah,
it was
That's
great.
So good. As Squatch, I just want to point it out to our buddy Squatch here. He's a Lions fan. I'm pulling for the Lions, man. I love Campbell. I'm pulling for the Lions as soon as my Steelers are out of it, which is usually week 1 of the playoffs. So yeah, I'm definitely.
And I'm gonna go on the record. This discord about how Jared Goff is like a mid quarterback. He's won with 2 teams, gone to the Super Bowl, NFC Championship. Like, dude, give this kid his flowers. He's a top 10 quarterback, maybe even top 7.
He's up there. Yeah, you guys. We froze again. Hold on. We froze again.
We freeze twice.
And
the bit runs on.
There we go. We'll be back in a second here. Man.
Yeah, we're back.
So
we're back.
We
froze twice over the Lions and Eric can talk.
Sorry, Squatch, we can't put the Lions over anymore.
All right. Well,
I'm playing on drafted. I'm on State Brown like I usually do.
Speaking of which, be forewarned, folks. We are getting closer and closer. I think end of this month or early next, the training camp start, right? So which means we're gonna start talking about it. Total Spotfest Fantasy Football Season 2.
It'll be time to draft in about 6 weeks or so. We're getting there. Best time of the year.
Yeah, we'll do a live draft. If any of you guys want to be a part of it, we're also gonna have a few wrestlers a part of it. See if we can grow it a little bit. Maybe we can get to like 15 teams, 16 teams.
Stretch it out a little bit because we had what 8 teams last year, I think. And we did a couple. We did a couple ridiculous things like everybody's in the playoffs, So but it'll definitely be a good time. So if you are interested, just give us a shout, give us a holler. You can either just let us know in the comments down below. Send a message to Jamie at Total Spotfest because Jamie does manage our socials. I'm terrible at it. Yes, but definitely keep an eye out. We will have fantasy football starting up here not too much longer. We do got some wrestling coming up here as well. If you are in the Kansas City metropolitan area or going to be around here 1 week from this Saturday, which is actually going to be the 26th of July, Central States Wrestling, CSW, is making their return, okay? New ownership. They're doing kind of a transitional show here. It's going to be at Abdullah's Temple, which is a little Shriner's place off of Metcalf and I-35 in Overland Park, Kansas. Fantastic place to watch wrestling right off the highway, real easy to get to. So if you're just passing through Kansas City, hey, just make a little detour. Stop right there. Watch some wrestling. And then August 15th, Fountain City Pro returns. Front row is already sold out, but you can go to all their socials and get tickets for that show. The show goes on, I believe is what it's called.
Yep.
I don't know what that's a reference to. Is that like the
I think it's like just a saying. I don't know if it's in. We'll have to ask them if it's in reference to something specific. But
yeah, because they've been referencing pop culture things on stuff. So anyway, more information coming on that soon. That's in August. Okay. Harlem Championship Wrestling, we just talked about, had a show this past weekend. I got some more shows coming up here. Please go follow local wrestling, but follow your own as well. If you're not from Kansas City, I know several of you. I know, Heather, you're not local to us here, and Squatch, I'm assuming you're not based on your Lions fandom. But yeah, definitely always, as we always say, support your local independent wrestling. All right, your boys got anything else you want to get to tonight? Because we only froze twice. We go for a trifecta.
We got to a lot.
Yes.
We will be back next week, same bad time, same bad channel. If this is your first time here, we appreciate you for joining us and sticking around for this shit show all the way to the end. You can hit that subscribe button, hit the bell next to it so you know when we go live. We also do pre-shows for Fountain City and some other stuff that happens that goes on here. So you can follow us on the socials, on the internets, at Total Spotfest. But give us a big thumbs up. We do appreciate you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Jamie, take us home, man.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not down Total Spotfest, I got 3 words for you. That's my champ.
We'll see you guys next week.
Peace.
Later.